Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at stampinUp.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. Today I am featuring the Big Shot embossing mats in my Wednesday tip video. This product can double your Big Shot potential. What does that mean? It turns your cutting dies into embossing dies. So now you can not only cut with them, but you can emboss also. So when you order your Big Shot embossing mats, they come in a package just like this, and you get a white impression pad. You also get a gray rubber mat, and this is a little bit thicker than the thin blue rubber mat. And this is what you need to turn your cutting dies into embossing dies. So I'm going to do a little demonstration for you. And the reason why I'm doing this video is I had one of my good customers, Faye Marion, who asked me if I could please do a video on the embossing mats so that she would have a reference all in one place as to where she could go to remember how to use these. And I totally get that, Faye, because if you guys watched my Facebook Live from a few weeks ago, you remember I struggled with getting the right combination of stacking order for the embossing mats, and it was like, oh my Lord. So let's review this again, and you'll be able to find this all in one place. All right, I am going to bring in my Big Shot, and I've got a couple different things I'm going to show you. So I've got my multi-purpose platform here, and then I've also got the thin die adapter, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to die cut. And I chose to bring in the Floral Frames bundle. This is a beautiful stamp set with some really neat framelits in here. Here, let me show you. It's got all these framelits. It's got some matching flower stamps to go with, a couple of them. But it's got this really cool circle with some foliage on the edges. And these leaves, you'll notice, have injection holes in them. And that's the part that I'm going to show you today that you may not have seen yet. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to die cut with this. And I'm going to put this on a piece of Poppy Parade cardstock and get it die cut. Oh, here's my washi tape. I was looking for some washi tape. I like to kind of hold this in place because when we get to the next part, oh, I'll show you my disaster that happened and how you can avoid it. So we need a cutting plate. So I've got the platform in here and also the thin die adapter. We need a cutting plate. We're going to make our sandwich now for die cutting. And another cutting plate on the top. And we're just going to die cut this image. So this is pretty standard. Nothing special about what I'm doing here. And if you want to, you can remove this outside edge or you can leave it there. Doesn't make any difference for what we're going to do next. Okay, so now once we've die cut, we need to remove the thin die adapter. And if you have the Big Shot that has the tabs, you're going to open up a tab. We're still going to keep our cutting plate in place here. And now we're going to take our die and we have to set it with the blades up, okay? We die cut it. It doesn't matter which way you die cut it when you're cutting it out. But when you're embossing, the blades have to be up and your cardstock on the top here, so that your cardstock is next to the thick rubber mat. And then we need the white impression plate. And we're going to run that through. And I'm gonna pull my washi tape off here, pop this out. And what you're going to see, I hope you can see this, I hope the lighting is good enough to show you, those injection holes made all these neat designs on the little leaves. So that's what this thicker gray pad is for, is to add the details that are in some of our dies, okay? Now what happens, why, I told you I would tell you why I put some washi tape on there. Well, the first time I did this, my die slipped. It moved a little bit when I went to emboss it with the embossing mat. And this was the result. Yeah, it like destroyed my layer. So use a little bit of washi tape to hold that on there, because when you're turning it upside down and then putting this on it, you really can't see what's going on under there, right? So just use a little bit of washi tape to hold that in place. Okay, next thing. You also have this real thin blue mat, and here's what we're going to do with that. We are going to take a piece of Coastal Cabana. This die is from the Springtime Impressions Thinlits die. So you can die cut this beautiful image out of this die. We also have a butterfly that comes with this. So you get both of these in the Springtime Impressions Thinlits. And here's a die cut butterfly. Okay, so I'm going to put this die onto a piece of Coastal Cabana. And I'm also going to give it a little washi tape, because remember, we have to put it upside down so the cutting blades are coming up. This time we're going to use the dark blue, very thin mat, and again, the white impression pad. So here's our stacking order. We have a cutting plate. We have our die, and then our cardstock on top of that, our blue rubber mat, and the white impression plate. And this has a little bit more pressure when you roll it through. It really feels like it's not doing much at all. But look at how pretty that is. So again, you've taken this to a whole new level. You can die cut with it, or you can emboss and have a really pretty background. Now I'm going to show you, I've got 2 cards, actually 3, that I'm going to show you, because it's really hard for me to not show you what I've made with this stuff. I like to make stuff when I'm doing these videos. But before I do that, I want to show you one more example. I'm going to bring in the Flourish Thinlits, and this also has a matching stamp set. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to take this image, and I want to put that onto a gorgeous grape layer. And I'm looking, did you guys see my washi tape? Here it is. It's still stuck to the die here. So I'm going to add this to a layer of gorgeous grape. Again, we've got a cutting plate, the Big Shot platform by itself, cutting plate. See how this is moving around? That washi tape, make sure it's pinned down so it'll help you stay straight in there. And then I'm going to do the blue thinner rubber pad and the white impression pad. I'll show you the difference between the two here, because we're going to use the thicker pad on the next one. So here is our gorgeous embossed image with the thin blue pad. Now we're going to take another piece of gorgeous grape and add it to our platform, again upside down like this. Use the thicker gray pad with the white texture, or I mean the white impression pad. And again, you can hear this, it's thicker, it's giving me a little more resistance to get it through here. And this is what it, oops, let me get this washi tape off of here. This gives you a much deeper impression. I hope you can see that. It's much, much deeper. So that's the difference between using the very thin rubber pad blue and the thicker gray pad. Okay, let me put this stuff out of the way so I can show you what I made with all these goodies. So here's the Coastal Cabana layer where we use the Springtime Impressions Thinlits on this. And I am going to bring in this floral frame stamp set, some Memento black ink, and I'm just going to stamp this little hello at the top. This is a great greeting for an all occasion card. We're going to put some mini dimensionals on the back of this butterfly. And again, the butterfly is from the Springtime Impressions. I'm just going to add 2 of them right together there. And I'm going to set that right here. And I've left it hanging over this edge here a little bit, just because that adds some neat interest. Then I've got a card base here that is 4 1/4 by 11. I've scored it at 5 1/2 and folded it. And then I'm using some of our Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper. This is free during celebration. So till March 31st, through March 31st, you can get this pack of paper free. And this is the pattern that I chose. The other side looks like this. So we've got one side, one side, one side. I've shown this to you before, but just in case you're new, one side of all of these is black and white and the other side is colored. Now I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 inch layer on here. And then this piece is 3 3/4 by, no, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And I know this is going to like make some of you gasp that I'm covering up this paper, but look how cool that looks. Using that as a background border around my beautiful butterfly. Yeah, I know it's painful sometimes to cover up these beautiful patterns, but sometimes it's really beneficial. And I think this time is one of those times. I've got my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just going to add some of our rhinestone basic jewels. So I've got a big one, a medium one, and a little one here to my butterfly. And then on the inside, I've already stamped and colored the flowers from the floral frames. All right, so that's what I did with this Springtime Impressions die on the background of this card. Then I am going to, oh shoot, I already did that. I am going to bring in a piece of Poppy Parade that's also 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. We're just gonna burnish that edge good. I've got a piece of basic black here that is 4 by 5 1/4. And again, a piece of the Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper. This is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. And I love that black background behind it. Makes it pop a little bit. I've also got a scrap of white. And I'm going to take that same hello stamp and stamp it on here and punch it out with our 2-inch circle. Whoops, did you see I smeared that? I didn't let that dry. So let's try that again. Oops, now I got edges. Boy, who has that happen? Every once in a while, right? Grab another scrap of white here. We'll try this again. There we go. 3rd time's a charm. We're going to punch this out with the hello way at the bottom of our circle. And then I took this Designer Series paper, which is again the Botanical Butterflies, and I cut out 2 of these little butterflies. I punched, I should say, with our Butterfly Duet punch. Now, this punch is going to be available again April 1st. Currently, it is on back order. So I'm going to punch out 2 of those butterflies. And I've already got that done, and I have some mini dimensionals on the back. Oops, we got to get that to stick down before we pick the back off of it, right? I'm just going to do one more right here. And then remember this that we made with those that we ran through and got the images in the injection holes on this piece. We're going to take this butterfly, pop it up on some dimensionals. Whoops. Put it on the white piece. Pop that up on some dimensionals. And this 2-inch circle fits perfectly inside the floral frame, just like that. And then I wanted to do some more dimensionals to pop this up off the front of our card. Boy, that just doesn't want to come off of there. There we go. Okay, here comes our pretty little card. And I felt like there was only one other thing that I needed on here. And that was some rhinestones on my butterflies, because I like just that little touch of bling. Okay, what do you think of that card? Pretty easy, right? Here's what I did to the inside. I stamped the flowers. I colored them with our Stampin' Blend Poppy Parade markers. And here is a Poppy Parade card that I made that also matches the Coastal Cabana card that I made. So we've got 3 really pretty cards using the Floral Frames bundle and these fabulous embossing mats that allow you to double your big shot potential. Turn any of your dies into embossing dies. Now, I was looking through the catalog, and anything that's got any detail in it can be used for embossing. So we've got the crosses of hope, the delicate lace edgelets, the detailed dragonflies, this set, this set, this set. This one, not so much. These are more just framelets, like outside cutting. This one is great for it. This one, of course, was designed for it. The garden scene actually has an image in there that will only emboss. So you have to have the embossing mats for that. It doesn't die cut. Let's see, you could die cut Happy Birthday, or I mean emboss Happy Birthday into a layer with this one. Again, this one not so much, this one not so much, but this one would look pretty cool. Again, words work good. The Chase Your Dreams, there's some neat ones in there that you could use. So just go through your framelets and see which ones have a great deal of detail, which ones will work for this technique to give you the option to emboss with things that you only thought you could die cut with. I hope that you have added to your stamping knowledge today with this video, and I thank Faye for asking me to do it. It was really fun to make these cards and come up with these projects. If you need to order some embossing mats, I would love to earn your business. You can hop on over to my blog right here. In the right-hand side is an online ordering button, and you can use this host code if you're in the month of March. Don't forget, when your order reaches $50, you can choose a free celebration item, and the screen will prompt you to do that. This is the Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper. You get 2 sheets of each design in 12 by 12. If you have any questions about this, don't hesitate to ask me. You can leave a comment below my YouTube video. You can go right to the blog post for these cards. When you click down at the bottom, over here you'll see more. If you're watching this on your desktop or laptop, there's a place in the description that says see more. There's going to be a link in there that'll take you right to the post for these. It'll also have a really easy shopping list that you can click on the product. It'll go right to my Stampin' Up store. I always appreciate your orders. And don't forget to click down here to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't want to miss anything I have coming out. Click right up here. That'll take you to my blog where you will find all the catalogs. You can peruse through those. They're wonderful. The online ordering button, you can check out my online classes. Everything's in that right-hand column for you to be able to reference. And once again, I'd like to thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend it with me. Have a great hump day. Bye-bye.